Hi everyone, and welcome to the show with me, your host Ross. In this episode we're going to be looking at the finals of the New Japan Cup 2014, which took place on the 23rd of March 2014. Okay, so our opener is Bushi and Kushida versus Sho Tanaka and Captain New Japan. I mean, there's not much to this match at all. Kushida hits a code breaker on Sho Tanaka for a 2 count, then goes up to the top rope and hits a diving code breaker to get the win. Okay, so next up we've got an 8-man tag with Suzuki-gun members Davey Boy Smith Jr., Lance Archer, Taka Michinoku and Taichi, taking on the team of Jushin Liger, Tenzan, Kojima and Tiger Mask. Right from the get-go here we've got Taichi trying to unmask Liger. He gets pretty close. I mean, he gets the mask up as far as Liger's nose before the ref manages to pull him away. That's twice now he's tried to do this. He tried to do it on the 22nd show as well, and now he's done it again here. So this is a fun match. There's a lot of back and forth in it. Archer hits a big slam on Tenzan, which the ref stumbles on impact, and Davey jumps on the apron. Taka actually falls off the apron as well to sell the impact. So Suzuki-gun picks up the win here when Tiger Mask tries to crossbody both Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr., only to get caught mid-air. They deliver a killer bomb. Davey covers him for the 3 count. It's a good match, some fun spots in it, but I wonder if going forward Taichi's new gimmicks is going to be trying to unmask people. Next up then we've got a 6-man tag here with Chaos members Jado, Iizuka and Yano taking on the team of Sakuraba, Nakanishi and Nagata. So right enough at the beginning of the match, Iizuka uses the mic cord to choke Sakuraba. Nakanishi gets Yano up for an Argentine backbreaker, but Iizuka comes to try and break them up and Yano gets thrown at him. It's quite impressive though, getting Yano up for an Argentine backbreaker and managing him to throw him at Iizuka, you know, because Yano is a big lad. And then Jado is actually charging at Nagata, but Nakanishi cuts him off by delivering a spear. He's a little late on this, and Jado slows down right before he gets to Nagata to give him enough time to hit the spear, but he's slowed down enough that he's almost standing still when Nagata gets in position to deliver it. And the finish of the match comes when Nagata gives Jado a bridging belly to back suplex for the 3 count. It was an okay match, but Nakanishi's better days are behind him, sadly. So we've got our first semi-final of the night then. Bad Luck Fale taking on Shelton Benjamin. So we start off by both men trading the big forearms, which Fale comes out on top. Fale goes for the choke lariat, but as he hoists him up, Shelton counters into a DDT. This is actually quite well done. It's a nice transition. Benjamin goes up top to hit a, I guess he's going for a double axe handle, but he gets caught mid-air and gets given the choke lariat slam for his troubles, and then immediately picked up and given the Bad Luck Fall, the crucifix powerbomb. So Fale in the finals then. I mean, I must say I didn't see this coming, but New Japan are certainly booking him quite strong here. The match itself was fairly short, you know, it never really got time to get going, which I suppose the match has to be short if you're expecting Fale to work twice in one night, you know. And he will take on the winner of the next semi-final, which is our next match on the card, Suzuki versus Nakamura. And Taichi gets involved, you know, immediately from the get-go here, working Nakamura over with a chair on the outside while Suzuki distracts the ref. The referee finally smartens up and catches Taichi and ejects him by walking him up the ramp, but it's a bit pointless because as soon as the referee gets back to the ring, Taichi just walks back down the ramp and stands at ringside for the rest of the match. So the story of the match is Suzuki is working Nakamura's arm. He wraps it around the ring post and smacks it with a chair. When the ref tells Suzuki off for using the chair, he spits in the ref's face. Clatty bugger. Suzuki goes to apply an armbar in Nakamura, but Nakamura counters with a kick and Suzuki falls down. As he's sitting down, he gets a Bombaye to the face for a close 3 count, but one more Bombaye as he's getting back up to his knees sees Nakamura pick up the win and a spot in the final to take on Bad Luck Fale. Overall, I thought it was a good match. So next up we've got a tag match here with Chaos members Yoshihashi and Takahashi taking on Goto and Shibata. Yoshihashi gives Goto a powerbomb and grabs the legs for a roll-up pin, but only gets a 2 count. Shibata and Goto get some good double team offense, giving Yoshihashi a suplex into a backbreaker. The finish comes when Yoshihashi is seated and gets a running kick from Goto to the chest, and Goto picks up the 3 count. It was an okay match. So time for another 8-man tag here with Bullet Club members Doc Gallows, Cara Anderson, Prince Devitt and Tamatonga taking on the Great Bash Heel, Makabe and Honma, Tanahashi and Taguchi. Tamatonga is back again tonight with the white face paint. So he's got his face painted white, he's got black from his chin down through his beard, and he's got red above his eyes. It sort of resembles Kratos from God of War. The match itself was fairly high paced with lots of interchanging between the legal men. So Taguchi at one point is going to deliver a DDT to Gallows, but Anderson comes in to try and break them up. Taguchi gets the upper hand and ends up delivering a DDT to Gallows and at the same time hitting a reverse DDT to Anderson. This is a really cool spot, and the finish comes when Tanahashi hits a frog splash to Tamatonga for the 3 count. Tamatonga worked well through this match though, I must say. He goes for a big splash at one point and gets so much hang time. Good match, I liked it. So next up we have a 6-man tag between Chaos members Gedo, Okada and Ishii taking on El Desperado, Ibushi and Naito. So as Ishii enters the ring, he gets straight in Naito's face and they exchange words. These two actually start the match off with some pretty stiff looking forearm shots. Ibushi hits a lovely standing shooting star press on Okada. I've said in a previous episode he's got probably the best standing moonsault. His standing shooting star press is very impressive also. Ishii hits a lovely delayed brainbuster from the second rope on Naito for a very near fall. In the build up to the finish, El Desperado hits Gedo with a flip senton through the ropes, and on the opposite side of the ring, Ibushi does his double jump moonsault to Okada on the outside. Sadly though, the camera misses this, so this leaves Naito and Ishii as the legal men in the ring. Ishii hits a massive lariat on Naito, which he sells with a backflip. The fans are really getting into the closing stages of the match here. Naito finally puts him away with a Stardust press, pinning Ishii for the second time on the New Japan Cup Tour. So they're definitely building for a rematch here between Naito and Ishii. The match itself was very good, and the best exchanges were between Naito and Ishii. They opened the match and they closed it. The final 5 minutes of this match is awesome. So the main event of the night is the final of the New Japan 2014 Cup between Shinsuke Nakamura and Bad Luck Fale. Fale is accompanied to the ring by the entire Bullet Club. So Fale starts the match off on the front foot, then working Nakamura over. He gives him a back body drop to the outside, while the Bullet Club then pounce on him. When we're back in the ring, Nakamura starts to work some sort of a comeback here, but the Bullet Club finally get the upper hand again when they've got Nakamura on the outside and all members of Bullet Club are working him over. The ref finally ejects them, but they're not forgoing until the referee finally threatens them with, if they don't leave, he will disqualify Fale. So they finally heed warning and leave. Bad Luck Fale is in control of the match at this point and goes up top for a big splash, but Nakamura moves and catches him with a Bombaye to the back of the head as he's trying to get up. Unfortunately, Nakamura can't capitalise as he's still selling the beating that he's been having throughout the match. He goes for a second Bombaye, but Fale catches him and goes for a choke lariat slam, but Nakamura counters it into an armbar. As they go to the ground though, Fale's head crushes Nakamura's face. It shows you a replay. Bad Luck Fale's head comes down, really hitting Nakamura square in the nose. There is blood everywhere. It looks extremely painful. Definitely a broken nose. I mean, the blood is all over his forehead and all over Nakamura's chest as well. It's really nasty looking. We get a couple of close-ups as well. It's not a pretty sight. Fale finally breaks the armbar hold by countering it into a big powerbomb. He hits him with a massive lariat, which Nakamura sells by doing a backflip. Then we get a choke lariat slam for a very near fall. The fans are getting really into this. Fale goes for the Bad Luck fall, but it gets countered into a Hurricane Rana, then a Bombaye, followed by a second rope Bombaye, and then another second rope Bombaye, then a running Bombaye to the kneeling Fale to pick up the win, and your New Japan Cup winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. This is definitely Fale's best match of the tournament. Sadly, it's not Nakamura's best match he's had this tournament, but, you know, given his level of opponent here, they did well to work a match which suited Fale's strengths. Strangely though, in the Suzuki Nakamura match, they really went for the work in the arm spot, and it didn't really play into this match at all. I mean, I didn't notice Fale working the arm of Nakamura whatsoever. So in the ring, Nakamura is presented with his trophy and he is still covered in blood. The blood is smeared all over his face and chest. He cuts a promo and he teases with which belt he's going to choose for, whether it be the Intercontinental or the IWGP Heavyweight belt, but he finally makes up his mind and goes for the Intercontinental belt. So it seems that they're really pushing the Intercontinental belt here to be just as important as IWGP. Personally, I don't think this is a wise choice. I think you should definitely have your main belt, which is the IWGP belt, and then you can book the Intercontinental belt as being a very important belt in its own right, but it shouldn't be as important. So I mean, you could argue the fact as well that Nakamura chose the Intercontinental belt because he obviously wants his rematch with Tanahashi, which is understandable, having lost the belt to him at Wrestle Kingdom, and you could also argue that Nakamura is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, so he sees it himself as his belt. So in that case, you know, it kind of makes sense. So overall, the New Japan Cup was decent. It's not the best New Japan Cup that there's been. There's a few good matches spread over this tournament. Sadly though, some of those matches are not tournament based matches. So that's going to do it for this episode then. Thanks for listening. See you later.